Well, September is crucial because General Petraeus is coming back with a report. This weekend he made some statements. I doubt if his report in September will be greatly different from what he said this weekend, which is basically, as I took it, mixed results. We're making progress. Sectarian violence is down. We've made progress in one of the tougher parts of the country, the Anbar province. We've made progress in Baghdad, but it's going to take longer. The last complement of troops to get up to the 21,500 or so surge troops have just arrived in Iraq. So he's saying, give it a chance to work. I'm not saying I believe this, but some people are saying that this is a good multi-year plan, that the political process will probably give multi-days or weeks or maybe months to work. In other words, a very bleak assessment from that standpoint. I hope that's not the case. We all know the circumstances surrounding our involvement there. I happen to think that for very good reasons, we did what we did when we did it. I think sometimes a nation has 2 or 3 bad choices and does not have a good one. Had we not gone in there, as I indicated in my remarks, Saddam would have been there telling the world in effect that he did have weapons of mass destruction, having defied the United Nations somewhat 17 resolutions and so forth. The history of putting his own people in human shredders and attacking his neighbors, an oil-rich country, obviously. Watching Iran today, if for no other reason, in my own opinion, without doubt, would be close to a nuclear weapons capability, because of the capabilities he had years ago, and the scientific expertise he had, and the desire that he showed at that time. So that would be the situation today, in my mind, had we not. We also know of the mistakes and missteps and lack of planning and lack of sufficient intelligence and all of that. But that now is history and second guessing. And there's time for that, but we should not spend all of our time on that. We should think about the future. And we should think about the kind of world we're going to the kind of world we're going to live in if we pull out of there wholesale and tell our friends and allies in that part of the world that we can no longer be relied upon, that we're gone. And they start trying to figure out what's in their own best interest and who they should make a deal with, and what about the energy supplies and what's going to happen to that, and all of that. I think the Sunni nations in that part of the world are extremely close to a decision, if they haven't already made it, to have nuclear weapons themselves. I think that we've been able to help at least stall that, if not prevent that, by being there in that part of the world. People talk about humanitarian crisis, people talk about a new haven for Al-Qaeda. I'm not sure about that, but I am sure, I think those concerns are valid concerns, but no one can be sure. What I am sure about in my own mind is that we need to do everything possible to avoid the appearance of utter weakness, and that our friends and allies in the end cannot count upon us. So is there a plan B? I don't know of a plan B. Is it being seriously considered? I do not know, but I do know that the political window is closing. How rapidly, I'm not sure, but it's one of the things I was thinking about when I made reference to the fact that we need leaders in this country who can think past the next election. And that goes for members of my own Republican Party back home. No one wants this debate going into an election, but nobody wants a more dangerous world than when we went down there. Nobody wants to have to send our sons and daughters back down there a few years from now. No one wants America and America's allies to be perceived as weaker, which could cause a dozen situations to arise around the world that might not otherwise arise. Nobody wants that either. So I get reports back from friends of mine who have young men, two young men in the Marines who have re-upped one more than once, and who write back, email back. They send me from time to time, and they're optimistic, they're idealistic, they think they're doing something for the cause of freedom and for their country. And they're on the ground there. They say what you read is not really an accurate portrayal. And I say as long as they're optimistic and hopeful, I'm optimistic and hopeful. And I hope the political process allows us to avail ourselves of every realistic opportunity that we have to leave that place under better than terrible circumstances.